Thanks for watching Abstract Ohio. If you enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe. This abstract deals with racial strife of the 1960s in Springfield, Ohio. Often when we view events from history, we tend to look at them in black and white, when in reality, they were meant to be seen in living color. Anytime we take past events and try to apply modern-day sensitivities and attitudes to them, it's the equivalent of an old black and white film that's been colorized. Often something is lost in translation. If you remove all the adjectives, you have a story with two brothers and two cousins. A brother having his lunch money taken by a cousin, a brother coming to the defense of a brother, a cousin coming to the defense of a cousin, a knife given to a brother, and a cousin stabbed in the heart. It was a tragedy, but it was also 1965, and those missing adjectives turned this tragedy into racial strife. The Pack brothers were from a poor working-class family that had moved to Springfield from the hills of Kentucky. The school year was only a few weeks old, and the younger of the brothers apparently became tired of having his lunch money stolen and decided to fight back. When the older brother came to the defense of the younger, Ralph Stinnett came to the defense of his cousin. Ralph was a star linebacker for the South High Wildcats, and the only reason he wasn't at football practice that day was because he was recovering from an ankle injury. Dreadfully, Pack's girlfriend handed him a knife, which ended up taking the life of Stinnett. Despite the fact that there were no racial motives to the fight, the Packs were white and Stinnett was black. And it was 1965. It so happened that my parents, who had just graduated from high school that year, were each still living at home with their parents on the same block in the Weldon Park neighborhood where the Packs lived. Within hours of the stabbing, that block was surrounded by a steady stream of cars filled with people from the African American community who were enraged by the slaying. They drove around the block the rest of the evening, yelling and honking their horns. My mother shared the story of how her father, who had to leave for work, showed her how to fire his rifle and told her before he left that if anyone came through their gate, she was to shoot them. The following day, students walked out of school in protest. They gathered downtown near the YMCA. It was here that a hero came forward, a 16-year-old African-American young man who had been a friend of Stinnett's by the name of George Cobb. George convinced his fellow students not to be destructive and cause trouble for themselves and fines that would burden their parents. They heeded his words and returned to class the following day. Sadly, there would be much more racial strife and turmoil as the 60s wore on, not just in Springfield, but throughout the country. Thank you for watching Abstract Ohio. Please like and subscribe, as well as follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.